establishment.
Welcome to my drawing video. Just to let you know, it's 3 a.m. and this is the third time that I've tried to start this commentary, but I am just too scatterbrained. My stupid scatterbrain. It's 3 a.m. I was asleep, potentially for the night, and then I woke up, and I told myself earlier, I woke up in bed, and I said, you're going to get up because the video is going to be done rendering. You're going to get up and record coherent audio. And I said, no, I'm not. And I went back to sleep, and then I was woken by my toddler child, and I said, okay. And I came out here, and the video was finishing rendering. Do I want it to be 20 minutes long? No. No, not at all. I want it to be 12 minutes. I want it to be 11 minutes. I want to bang this shit out. But I would have to go through a third process of time-lapsing, which would take, X amount longer in order to squish it down. So it's going to have to be the tightest that it can be right now, which is like, 19 minutes? Anyway, so what this is this is my favorite show on the internet, The Attack. And I did a piece for them. I don't like wording it like that. God damn it. Why does art have to be so stupid? Why do I have to say I did a piece for them? They didn't ask me to do this. It's fan art. All right, well, let me rephrase. I did some fan art this sounds so much better. Okay, I did some fan art a year ago. And the reason why this was so important to me and the reason why I revisited it is because it's the first one it's the first thing that I did for public consumption that was in full color. And that's important to me because since that, I came out of the colorblind closet, and that was the idea, was that I didn't know, can I pull this off? And so I'd like to say I did. I'd like to say that anything that I screw up is forgivable, when compiled on thousands and thousands of strokes of other colors and stuff. So I saw, what happened was, let's start at the beginning. A month and a half ago or something, I was bit with this inspiration to do another piece for The Attack. It had been a year. They've grown. My style has grown, I guess you could say. I over the year, as I did more pieces, I found little tweaks and stuff that I did to kind of make everything work together. The pencil-y shit, the outline-y shit, and the color shit. I started working more on detailing through the color as opposed to, relying on the pencil stuff to model form, shape. Oh, that 3 a.m. shit's starting to hit me again. So, okay. So because of that, I looked at the old one. I said, nah, I want to do a new one. And this is how it started. I was watching. They've blossomed into a full schedule of multiple shows, and I was watching their sort of morning digest show called Front Page, and host of The Attack, Alex Corrado, was on it, and they were going through Facebook, old Facebook pictures of themselves, and Alex was going through his, and he was watching these videos of him, trying to smash a skateboard, I don't know, some 14-year-old shit. And he was saying, he kept referring to himself as a mad lad. And he was saying he was the maddest lad. Now, I don't know if there's, I don't know, that could be a term where somebody could be like, oh, you never heard of mad lad? That's the most basic term, so many people use it. I don't even want to look it up because I don't want to attribute it to anything other than him. Because when I heard that, I said, that's so adorable. And you know what I mean? I said, I hope and I wish that was his phrase. And so, anyway, what was it? I had this idea of making a whatever the hell it would be. It would be like the Maddest Lad. That was what the first inspiration was. And then after a little bit of this and that, figuring out what I'm going to do, I said, why not take the Maddest Lad and group him together with the Maddest Dad, Corrado, who is an executive producer for the show, who also, I'd like to say he's sort of like a director, not a technical director or whatever, not a guy in the, I don't know, he's like in the director chair with the little mic loop thing in his ear. Whatever. I don't know. I know his term. Whatever. Why am I fucking dwelling on his goddamn I don't even know what it's called. Label. All right. So what was I doing? Mad Lad, Mad Dad. I group them together. All right. Now, I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. I actually wanted to give a fitting tribute to Alex with, like, you know, the nice clean shirt with the skinny tie. But you kind of that might be okay because you kind of abandoned that, I think. Now that I think about it. Whatever. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like, you're lost. You might not even know what Twitch is. I kind of told myself before, I said, I'm not going to give too much time to explaining what Twitch is, but you got to know what Twitch is if you don't know what Twitch is. Twitch.tv. This is the most fascinating and frustrating thing you'll ever see in your life. I'm like, don't get it twisted though. I love that it exists because it sort of hawks a loogie in the face of anybody who says you have to go get a job at a steel mill, or if you want to do good in life, you need to, get into clerical office work, whatever the hell, that kind of shit. Twitch is a site where you film yourself in a DX racer chair with green seamless paper behind you, photography paper. If you want to go to the animal feed shop and get a big blue tarp, if you want to go old school with your chroma key and do some 80s style shit, you could key yourself into a screen of you playing a video game. And I shit you not, tens of thousands of people will watch you. Now, I'm not saying will. Okay, I did say will, but I'm not going to say will. But there's a big handful of people who get tens of thousands of people. I'm talking sugar mamas and sugar daddies. People who are throwing money at them like an endless stream of money. It's insane. It's such a fascinating thing to watch. When I was growing up, if you wanted to get in the video game industry, you either had to be creative and be a programmer. If you wanted to play games for a living, as far as I could tell, maybe I'm wrong, but you had to be a video game tester. If you were like, I want to play video games for a living. And something tells me that a video game tester is like the bottom barrel of the industry, where it's like, you're so replaceable, get out of here. You can't break this game. I feel like that's a thing too. You're not playing it to play it, to enjoy it. You're playing it to break it. You have to be kind of good at like finding and mining bugs. But now you could just straight up play the game on Twitch and be very mediocre and not entertaining. You think, oh, well, obviously the people are super entertaining. Hell no. I've seen people, so like you have tens of thousands of people, so probably about 1,000 of those people are involved in the chat, which is flying by like fucking credits at the end of a sitcom, like when the time crunches or whatever, and they start folding the screen in half and they say, up next, wacky dildos and the wide world of sports coming up next. And then they squish it, and then it's going, and so that's what the chat is doing. So in order to get the attention of the person that's playing, they're throwing donations with a tag on it. So like I've seen a motherfucker getting $3 for everything that somebody wants to say to them. And so somebody pops up in the chat and is like, so-and-so in the chat says, are you going to play Overwatch next? I don't know, man. Thanks for the donation. And then, like, just not even in, like, oh, God. Like, the enthusiasm of the thankfulness is kind of there, but kind of not. Like, I bet if you fucking paid $3, be like, hey, man, love the stream. Why am I'm talking about Twitch way too long. I kind of promised myself I wouldn't talk about it more than, like, 90 seconds. But, yeah, like, and then they'll get, like, big donations, like hundreds and stuff. Like, I'm telling you, that there's sugar mamas and sugar daddies all over that motherfucker, and they're just enjoying the shit out of watching you mediocrely play a game. That's Twitch, and I'm happy that it exists. Like I said, I'm happy that exists, because that possibility is a reality to somebody who pursues it. So go get yourself that DX Racer chair, man. Like, do it up. That's what I say. Go for it. So, what was I talking about before that? I wanted to give this right here is I have to let my toddler. He loves my tablet. He loves my Wacom. He loves the thing, and he harasses me, and I can barely get work done now. So I have to let him play and scribble over faces for 20 minutes at a time. But yeah, getting back to the guys here. Let's see. When I wanted Corrado in it, I didn't know what I was going to do with him. So I started like, you know, flipping around, trying to get ideas. And this was at a time when they did a bit on the show for a baseball game, a Japanese baseball game that featured, they tried to westernize the players and they completely missed the mark. And they had one of the guys' names was Bobson Dugnut. And so they're like, nobody would call Bobson Doug. And then Corrado comes out like, I'm Mr. Dugnut. And and I just, the way he's standing with that mop and shit, like I said that. I like that. I like the overalls. I like the look. And I didn't like drawing the overalls. And the reason why is because when there's subtlety, when the detail is in subtlety, because it's just a big uniform colored thing and it's barely getting touched by the lighting, the different colors and stuff. When there's just a subtle difference in the tone and the form and stuff. When I first started drawing those overalls, I said, this sucks. This is going to look like shit. And then, of course, I messed with it for, like, way too long. And then by the end, I was okay with it. But anyway, back to the thing. So he's in the overalls and, you know, and I said, all right, perfect. So I started taking screenshots and shit of that, which was very far away and blurry. So I had to find another picture for his face. And I, you know, flipping around again, and I ended up where he had his head shaved and dyed for the show, like for a bit for the show, which he kept and he tweaked. So, but he obviously didn't keep it like the big pink or red dollop. I mean, I honestly don't know what it is. It's pink or red. Yeah, it's that colorblind shit coming back to haunt me. I rely very technically, like I'm still a student of color and how it interacts with how color interacts with other color and all that stuff. But I approach it a very technical way. Like I try not to lean too far on the color picker, but I'll try to get like a base color for something just to get my bearings, and then I'll start like, you know, and then I'll start working from there. What was my point though? Oh yeah, so he got his hair dyed and everything, and I said, okay, well that's yet another reference. The first time I did the fan art, it wasn't chock full of real reference like this one is. I mean, you got the door, you've got the hair, you've got Mr. Dugnut, which sounds like the worst Adam Sandler character to date. Worse than the Cobbler. I watched that shit last year. I watched the Cobbler last year. And it's terrible. It's almost like he just reads Aesop's fables to his kids and then just gets an idea for a movie. And he's just like, well, the Cobbler, you walk a mile in someone else's shoes. Don't judge it. You know what I mean? And then so like Mr. Dugnut would be like a throwback to the fucking severe beating of a high school janitor. Wow, I just fucking went 3 different directions at once. Let me get my bearings again. You got Mr. Dugnut. You got the goddamn energy juice. God damn it! Before you shred, energy juice. The goddamn what did that bit have a name? The Heelys one. You got the rad Heelys gear. You got the door, which is the door when they switched studios a year ago. And they had I felt like they were dwelling like on that door. I don't know why or how. This is just how I remember it. I felt like I just had this memory of like, I was just like, God damn, man, they're putting a lot of emphasis on this fucking door. And then I realized very quickly, and since then, that it's like the most versatile prop ever to introduce anything. So the door had its own like has its own like personality that I wanted to capture. So I went way too far into detail. The last thing I was doing, I wanted to capture the essence of the door. And of course, that's what I wanted to have them stand in front of. So I just want to make sure there was enough like relevant references in this picture. So anyway, I took that head of Corrado, put it on that body, but the head didn't have glasses on, and I thought the glasses fit well with the outfit, and so I just kind of like I went for it and I sketched it over the face, even though he wasn't wearing glasses in that one. And then there wasn't a lot of detail, obviously, because it's a blurry picture and everything. And oh, what was it? I ended up having a creep on Corrado's Instagram, and because I was looking through shows, and I'm like, man, I can't get a good picture of the detail of these fucking glasses, and it's gonna look stupid if I have a lot of detail in the face, and then the glasses are just sort of like, you know, a weird Mr. Potato Head like featureless prop. Then I ended up having a creep on his Instagram. I had the idea, and I said, like, let me look on his Instagram. Boom, you got like 2 different varieties of glasses to choose from, and the one I actually recognized from a reference that I threw away when I realized when I boil it down to what I was gonna do. And so that happened there. I am so fucking. This is so stupid to me. I cannot remember if I told the story of why Alex is standing the way he's standing. And if I didn't, it's 3 o'clock. It's not even 3. It's 3:50. Okay? And I got to go to work in a couple hours. And not at a company that I have like a crush on like this one. Have you ever just had a crush on an entire company? Like, that's how I feel about Attack Media. Like, I know that nothing is a beautiful pipe dream where everything's good. Like, I understand that it's probably very hard work, but it's that kind of work where, to me personally, what they produce, what they do is like that hard work that pays off. Like, that's what I do here with this. It's exactly what it's like. I put in a way more work, way more hours than I should into a picture, but it's that feeling of reward, that personal feeling of reward. Like, this is what I do. You know what I mean? And I just feel like a place that produces shit like this, to me personally, like, some people might want to like build cars, and I say to you, like, keep that engine revving to a minimum because I hate you for it. But in that same way, what they do, it's just sort of like you know, that hard work that I'm sure is like has worth to it. Again, it's just in my opinion, but it's like got worth to it. Weight and worth and that fulfillment at the end of the day. That's just what I see when I mean, it might be a company full of fucking assholes. I don't know. No, I do know. God damn it. I hate that because I have this problem where I could say like Alex and Corrado are like the coolest guys. But how do I know that some people in the office go, I fucking hate that guy. You don't know him. He's a fucking asshole. If you knew him, you wouldn't fucking say that shit. So I get scared of that, talking too nice about people that I truly have never met, don't know. Which is just a shitty way to be. Anyway, I don't know if I told the story about how Alex is standing, but I'm going to do it again. No, I'm not. It's the end of the video. Shit. South by Southwest, people were giving him shit for standing like that. And it's comfortable. I might be fucking repeating this. Do me a favor, please, if you enjoyed this video, I don't know how the fuck you did, if you did, follow me on social media. That's what I'm asking you to do. And check out The Attack.